Yo, what's going on? Today we have a Mazda hatch. We're going to be doing 20. We're doing 20 all the way around. The whole car is pretty straightforward, except for this top spoiler on the hatch. It's actually a decently rounded window, but we'll get it. We'll get it done. Everything else is very, very straightforward. The back window, other than shrinking it, really wouldn't be that tough for most people. The spoiler is the only thing that's going to be really tricky if we're going to hand cut it. Woot! Stream! How you doing? Good morning. I tried to get up a Plotter Depot banner, but I'm still playing around with stuff. It actually kind of, I don't know. It looks like that's like higher up and farther away. It's not that high up. That banner right there sits about as tall as me right now when I stand up. So I gotta move it. So many streams. Where did my headphone stuff go? This is one of the first cars I've ever tinted. Nice. All right. Whoa. Okay. That has never happened before. Local output. Stream output. How does that even happen? Oh, Christ. Yeah, so my software just is completely destroyed. That's goofy. It doesn't even show my main mic input. What the heck? Can you guys even hear me? Hello? It works. Oh, God. That's so goofy right now. Let's just start adding stuff. Maybe it'll fix itself. Voice chat. Browser. Aux 1. I don't know. I've never had this happen before. What the heck? At least you're showed up. Really need to take deposits. We need Tint to come through for us. Just use something else. In the meantime, oh, okay, good. It fixed itself. It literally wiped all my sources. That's so weird. I've never seen that before. Probably a Windows update. Everything's okay until all of a sudden it's not okay. So that's good that mic works. Looks like everything's here. Like I just had to add the sources back so I don't have to do any back-end work. Oh, man, that was bad. Wait. Do you guys hear robot voice? That's actually the only thing. Let me make sure that's turned down all the way. Oh, no shit. Oh, I'd have to restart my computer and reinstall the software. It's totally bricked right now. Oh my God, I spilled coffee. God damn it. Okay, well, I guess that's fine enough. Nothing like a white hoodie, man, I tell ya. And then I spill coffee on it. It's gonna be one of those days. Oh, I did an OBS update too. Maybe that ruined it. Oh well, whatever. Let's get this camera and get going. I'm quite proud of myself. I already had a small coffee spill on this hoodie. Now I've got another one. Joy. That's how it goes. That tells you what type of tint job this is gonna be, right? But yeah. I mean, I love Tint and I use it for so much, but I would absolutely have something in place to collect deposits just for people that decide not to show up. Because, yeah, it's a bummer. You get so many yes people, especially this time of year, too, where you're going to see, I mean, depending on tax season, right? Because that's the mystery this year. We don't really know how it's going to go yet, but assuming that it's not that much different. Assuming that it's not that much different, having somebody leave a deposit is very, very important. And people are not going to be... Cam link. There we go. People are going to be booking up so many places. When you have a big influx of people all at the same time, and they can't get in today or tomorrow or whatever, then they call anybody, book any time that they can, and then they'll work their way back and not tell anybody. So I don't want to tint for those people. Or if I do, I want them to leave a deposit. Customer decided, makes it worse because it was my cousin. Damn, family. That sucks. Customer decided he didn't want to pay for a full back window on a Model 3, so we were going to do a 40 up. Is vertical reverse roll really the best way to install this? If you're only doing half of it, I don't know. I've never had to do only half of it. People only really roll it up because there's so much more to do, so doing a vertical reverse roll makes sense. On that one, you might be able to just carry it in, but it's a big piece. I don't know, you quoted him. You got yourself into that mess. That's the thing. It's so funny. Hello. Hello. Okay. That's the thing. You get used to a particular way of doing things. And then, then somebody wants it done differently than what you're used to, right? Well, then, okay. Give them a discount. Sure, we're only doing half of it. Should be like a standard back window, but oh, wait. It might not quite be. So then it creates more headache for yourself than you realize. It's funny how that works. Okay, where did my tape go? There's my tape. So I did some cleaning, and then I have to figure out another spot. I might have to replace the plotter depot and my shop banner right there, but I also put another shop banner right there. So it'd be all right. My knife. We need the knife. Don't laugh at me. I have to. It's a funny situation. I mean, I get it. Like, hey, we only want half of it. I'd probably do the same thing. But I've never had to do half of it yet. I don't know. You know, actually, I wouldn't. Somebody calls me with a Model 3 that only wants to do half of it. I'm not. I'm going to do the full thing or none of it. Just because, there's some that have good plotter cuts for it, and I suppose I can try and lean over the back window and just try and seam it on the defroster as best I can. But that might be one of the few back windows where I just say, no, I can only do the full thing or none of it, because it's just not a good way of doing it. I mean, I saw a post yesterday. Somebody refused to do a full windshield on a cracked windshield. I'll do a cracked windshield, no problem, because, like, hey, if you want it tinted, that's fine. I think the difference for me on that and the Model 3 is just, you're not, like, I feel like there should be a good way to make it happen. But I don't want to feel like it's been half-assed in any way, so I don't know. Somebody getting in the Model 3 is going to ask what's wrong with the back window. I agree. Even though the plotter cut was weird, I told the shop it looks hacky and just like that. It's my shop, so you don't like the work. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree. Can't thank you enough for all the help that you provide. There's no way I'd be without your streams. Oh, thanks, man. It's an interesting topic for sure. Oh, shit. I think this was from a visor. Just gonna put that there. Yeah, right? Half-back window isn't even cheaper. You know, that happens with, like, it's not a bad way to save some money. But yeah, it really doesn't save that much money. But you got to kind of figure out even what then half of the back window is worth versus the full thing. So for example, when you're doing like a full car, somebody just wants to do like the front doors in carbon or ceramic and do the rest of it in dyed. Like it's really a good way to split it up. That way you still save a little bit of money, get heat rejection where you really value it the most. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit difference in tone and stuff, but it's not a big deal. But then I gotta go back because everything's kind of priced in a package. So like 2 doors, for example, started at 100. Well, 2 doors, and then a back glass. Do they add up to a full car? No, not usually. Usually it's over that. Because it's kind of all structured in a package. The car's already in here. You're working on it. Makes sense. So when somebody wants to schedule an appointment for something smaller, generally cost a little bit more per window than a bigger job across the board. But okay, we need the key. What's the point of the tape? Yeah, it's to keep it cleaner. Just one of those things that you can do to help keep dirt out of the seals. Not 100% necessarily, but we like to do it now. If you go back in the streams, you'll see we used to not do it. Now we do it on basically every car. So this is really the only thing here. This isn't too bad. It gives me a little bit of space, I think. Yeah, it comes right to here. So where my finger is right here, that's how much space we have in between the dot matrix and the spoiler. So it's just harder to cut a straight line there. And it's decently rounded. It's a bit of a bubble. All right. a year ago? Have we been doing it that long? We've been taping back windows for a year now? Where does time go? Oh, shoot. I gotta get my tank. I came on here yelling tuck tape every day. I do remember that. It's good stuff. What's the setup on that tank? So it's a 3-gallon. It's got about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 ounces of soap in it right now. Double hose, brass. This looks a little bright. Brass sprayers, fan tips. It's pretty icy. Are we too bright right now? I feel like maybe we're a bit on the bright side. There Matt goes messing with the cameras again. Let me think of what I changed. I can fix it. You don't really get a good sense for what the adjustments do until I actually have like a regular color car in here. So for the most part, I have a bright white Blazer or a customer car. Do you like the fan tip? I'm a fan. I still like the cone tip. So if I had to pick, I'd probably still buy a cone tip versus a fan tip. I don't think the fan tip really does a ton more for me. Properties, filters, color correction. Bring the gamma back. Gamma? What do we change? Oh, God. Let me do that. Okay. But, yeah, it doesn't really do a ton for me. The cone tip has a little bit more flexibility. You end up spraying, I think, overall less with fan tip. But when you need to do some like laser precision, you get that with a cone tip. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Don't forget to change your sprayer filter. So that's a good thing. I also have a carbon water filter too. Slight buzz on the mic. Hang on. Oh, it's plugged in. Probably what is causing it right now. We don't need it. So if you have like just a regular spigot attachment, you can get drinking water filters and hook them up. Clean a bunch of that crap out. So my water lines were a little funny when I moved in here. I recently just got that sink plumbed in, and the biggest problem was the hot water heater is where it had like the normal hookup, and the other cold water line was just snapped off. So I was just running off of the hot water, which was nice. But that hot water tank had been sitting for a while, so there was just a ton of crap coming out of it. So I let that sucker run for like a couple hours straight, trying to just like get all the crap out of it. And there was still stuff coming out of it. So I ended up getting a water filter. And that helped. That helped a whole bunch. Now I have crystal clean water. Blue hose is the best. Yeah, I think the blue hose is gonna last longer. I like well, at least I did. I really like the color of the Flexilla one, but you can see it gets scuzzy. I mean, this isn't that old. These floors, they don't get crazy dirty either, but it's still enough for it to show a lot of dirt and just generally look scuzzy, where the blue hose will look cleaner for a longer time, and I think it'll last longer too. So, points for the blue. I could plotter cut this back. We still may. Oh no. It's not dry. There we go. That's better now. Prepped. All right, we need good old 20%. Okay, where's like the real 20%? Son of a bitch. We're going with carbon today. Ha! I forgot about that. I'm actually just ran out of Pro Classic. So he's gonna get a carbon upgrade. I'll have to make a note of that. I have it scheduled to be, I just ordered late. I said I needed to order, I didn't order. And then I literally ran out of, oh damn. I ran out of my longer roll. And my shorter roll. I ran out of everything. So we're gonna do a free carbon upgrade. Or else we're not gonna have 20. And that's a bigger problem. For the filter on the keg setup, is there anything you recommend? So there's gonna be one that's actually inside the sprayer itself. And then there's also an inline one that you can purchase. I would get it from Sun Distributing because they've scoured around and found a really, really good all-in-one inline filter. The problem with, like, some people have been using some gas filters and stuff. Anything with aluminum is gonna corrode and whatnot, so that's why I'd recommend there. It's like it's an all plastic and mesh filter thing. I think it's so fine mesh it's supposed to filter out like white blood cells or something ridiculous. I bet Tint places downgrade people all the time and would never knew. You would never know. Yes, they do. Because you largely wouldn't. Flexzilla is the best hose. I've tried garden and air hoses. They coil up so easy. Yeah, but the thing is, Flexzilla is still like Flexzilla is like an amazing air hose, but it still is an air hose. So the only problem that you can run into with a Flexzilla hose long term is I've had them swell in a couple of spots. Air's a little different from water pressure, so the blue hose is made for water pressure. But it's still a really, really good hose. Oh yeah, for sure. Nobody wants to pay for stuff that they're not gonna get. These are NT's Carbon Ultra Sharps. I have to search around for some more stores that sell them. I found them on Amazon, and then I told some people, and now they're all gone. I got the yellow hose. Oh, okay. You went with the better type of hose, I think. I just like the Flexzilla one, just because of the color. But yeah, long-term use, you might have some issues. How do you cut straight on the seals? Practice. Practice makes perfect. That's the thing about shrinking, cutting. Some of these things are just, it's just going to be, like I can give you little tips on how I do it. So I literally just put out this much blade, I wedge it right here, and I just go straight down. So I'm putting sideways pressure here, but my blade is also angled outwards a little bit, so I'm not trying to dig into the seal, so that may be the little bit that'll help you out, but also practice. So all that seal is a guide. You don't want to angle your knife in a way that's going to cut into it. I click so fast because this is my car. Nice. Like your actual car? Or you have the same? I broke 2 plastic tips. Yeah, that was... The brass sprayers weren't even much of a thing. Some of the stores were trying to offer them a while back. And I felt pretty strongly about staying with a plastic one. In the beginning, because I felt this and I'm like, this is really heavy. But turns out all the water weight in the line makes a big difference on how that feels. And they're way stronger, so it's 100% worth the upgrade to a brass sprayer over sticking with the plastic one. Plastic ones I've had break way too much. Especially with that stupid coily slinky hose. hose length. 30? So if you go with a 30-foot hose, it's a really good length to leave at pretty much any vehicle near the rear tire, and then you can drag the hose all the way around and hit the driver's door and the windshield still, and then go back around to like the other side. 25 is just a little bit too short, but that's like covering all situations. I don't know what length these hoses are, but they are longer. So another way to do it, if you want to do a dual hose setup, which is ideal for when you're stationary. So I like the idea of having a hose on one side and a hose on the other, and then I can just leave my keg right there, quick disconnects, those things both pop off, and then I can take my keg and fill it up. When I'm mobile, I would just carry one hose with me, 30 feet, leave it in a corner, and then hit both sides. Bringing two hoses with you when you're mobile is just really annoying. Shoot, sometimes having one hose got annoying when you're tinting in one bay and you got to move to another bay, because then you're dragging extension cord and some other stuff. See how my blade is angled right now? See that? See that? So I don't angle it in to cut in the seal. I angle it outwards like that. And then I'm putting sideways pressure this way. So I guess I could explain a little bit more than I thought. Sometimes I forget that little bit. Mazda. I don't do many Mazdas. I really don't. It's a stick though, so that made me happy. I don't see many of those mini sticks anymore. So whenever you do, it's like, aw, they're more fun. Ooh. We fold it away slightly, so let's fix that. Bring that back up. I was trying around that corner, and I accidentally just pulled the film back just a hair, and I put a little notch somewhere where I don't want there to be a notch. So we're gonna recut this. There we go, that's better. So sometimes on, I don't want to say older cars, but these types of cars, like so Focus, the older model Focus comes to mind. Pay attention to some of these rubber seals too. So it's straight here, and then all of a sudden it juts out this way. It does the same thing right here. I don't know if the rubber just didn't stretch all the way over there quite as much, or it's just like shrinks with some time, or whatever the case. But up towards those top spots, they'll start to curve. So if you want a nice straight edge, just keep your cut a little bit shy. Ooh. Can you operate a big rig forklift I haven't had to, so no. Semi-trucks, I'd still have people pull in here. I've done one semi-truck. It's too big to pull. It's too big to pull in under here, but I had one. I got a tall enough door and just ended up doing it right there. But you gotta like round the corner to pull one of those things in here. I'm just gonna have the driver do it. It was really, really tight on the sides when he was pulling that thing in here. So let the guy that owns it pull it in, and then you can pull it back out. I don't want to get into semi-trucks. I have zero interest in doing semi-trucks. But he was asking about that. It's a Range Rover, and I think we did another vehicle for him too. So it's like, all right, yeah, I can do it. That's fine. Just charge appropriately for it. So they're usually extra dirty too. Why didn't it go off?
Nick Doolan super chatted $4.99. Good morning, Tint God. Look at that beautiful top edge. Any tips for cutting nice and close?
Music. I don't know what it would be. I don't think SFX. Aux 2 maybe? Maybe game? I don't know. We'll just add all of them. Nick Doolin with the 5. Thank you. Good morning, Tint God. Look at the beautiful top edges. Any tips for cutting nice and close? Thank you. Tips for getting a better top edge. We just finished the top edges. Practice? That's what I said on the sides. I'll angle my blades a little bit. I feel like some of the sharper blades, then the thinner ones might give you like a little bit of a cleaner cut. I really liked using the 30 degrees as well. You can get a good top edge with anything. It's about keeping your blade consistent though. So what you'll often see me do is sometimes I'll cut once, and then sometimes I'll go back through and I'll recut that same top edge and get like that dental floss thickness. So I'll put my blade in the film. You don't need much out, so probably about that much blade out. Keep it at a little bit of an angle and just try and keep that same angle through the entire cut. That way when you put it on the inside of the window, everything's going to be the same. I try and get it done in the first one, but sometimes I just notice, even when I'm trying to cut perfect the first time, there's like more I can seem to shave off the second go around, and I don't know, it just works out that way. So if I feel like I can clean it up a little bit more the second time, I will. You don't need to, though. It might be worth it just to try it once and then see where that lands. And then sometimes the more you fuss with things, the worse that they get. There we go. What's your opinion on Helios? It's good. It's really good. They've slowly been dialing it in for a while now. So I think there's a really solid lineup there. Color's good, shrink's good. Yeah, you'd be really happy with it. I just ended up using Geo before that. I'm plenty happy with Geo too. Didn't you just have a Porter cable? Yeah, it's right there. And it turns out it's not any faster. It's the same speed. So I was doing a lot of cleaning and I found these guys too. I'm gonna have to play around with them a little bit more. So I don't know if many people know about these things, but this is the Tri-Edge Smooth It. So if you have, wow, that was a good toss. Thanks. So if you have a Tri-Edge, there's two different materials here. So the idea is just you wet this down, and it's to get more use out of your card and to help keep it from scratching. So if you guys have scratched your window tint with a Tri-Edge, that's why they've made these things. So they just slide in here, you wet them down, and that is supposed to smooth it out. That's why it's called the Smooth It. I just saw them sitting there. I forgot. I totally forgot about them. But something nice to bring up, just in case you didn't know they existed, they do. Okay, let's grab a blade here. What, sanding paper? I have sanding paper. I'm gonna try it on one of them. I talked to Jay, the owner. He said he recommends not to use it. You can use sandpaper on some cards from what I understand, but he recommends using something like that instead. No, so I can show you closer. It's not sanding paper. It's a fabric. You and Tint Warrior should do a collab. You know, a while back, I dropped the ball on it, but it's over-promising too many things. We had a cool idea to do like a online tint off, and there's actually a way to do it. It's just really technical. So I looked into it and tried some stuff, and it did work, but it's kind of a lot to organize. So I just dropped the ball on it. It's my bad. But I don't like how technical some of this stuff is. So when I was tinting at the glass shop, I had a pretty ridiculous setup. So what I would do is I had my PC literally running from home, and then I had my GoPro on a Wi-Fi connection. at the shop I was tinting at. So I would transmit the GoPro feed through a ridiculous server rig setup through Amazon, and then that would beam back home to my PC. And then I'd just remote into my PC and I'd start the stream that way. So you can do that with multiple people, but there's a lot of little hiccups with it. Sometimes it would work, and then sometimes you'd have to try it 3 or 4 times, and then sometimes it would just not work. So I never found a simple way to do it. It's always stupid complicated. Or you can just have somebody hold a phone, I guess. It's actually really annoying trying to have multiple people on the same stream with a halfway decent quality. Okay. So this is looking nice. Da, 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 da. Nice. Get that close. Real close. But not too close. I like it. Why did I bring one towel here? Need more. Need one more towel. Dry out that top edge. Did you ever work at Radio Shack? No, I think they were out of business by the time I started getting a job. Oh, no. Sorry, Radio Shack. I'm thinking of, like, a little farther back than that. No, Radio Shack was miserable by the time I was looking around for a job. I didn't want to go there. It was so depressing to walk into Radio Shack. They're tiny. They never had anything that you actually needed. And then they kept trying to add lots of random crap that you definitely didn't need. Like little RC toys and stuff. But like really crappy ones. I don't know. Radio Shack was just a mess. I was thinking of CompUSA or something like that. But they were out of business. X-mods? I don't know what those are. They were like one of the only places that you could go for like, wow, that slid in there, but I can't get a shank in there. Gotta go all the way over. Little RC car you could modify? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Seal's a little snug, but overall pretty easy. It's just the way it wedges against the glass. You need a little sharp point to get there. It's just a little bit too blunt. There's like a bunch of weird things there. They like sold cell phones for a time. They like partnered up with Sprint. And then like as far as electronics goes, like sometimes they were like one of the only places that you could get like a weird connector. But that was about it. Like, oh, I need a headphone splitter that also does this. That type of cable. But that's what Amazon does really well now. But if you needed to get it the same day, still can't find that kind of stuff anywhere but like a, oh, what are they called? The really, really good store. Micro Center. That's what I'm thinking of. Micro Center's awesome. Should join Patrick and Martin on the podcast. What podcast? I know he's supposed to like post one soon with them, but like they're in Florida. I'm not in Florida. Fries. I actually never been to a Fries. They weren't around here. But one day, a little wonderful store called Micro Center popped up on my radar, and turns out I'm like maybe 5 to 10 minutes away from a Micro Center. They're awesome. I haven't had a reason to go in there for a while, though. I'm sad. I need an excuse to go to a Micro Center. I'd go get a graphics card, but that's kind of a joke. I just got my first deposit for an appointment score. Now see if they show up on the 5th. Oh, they will. Isn't that interesting, though? Deposit scheduled out for the 5th. Like, that's the biggest difference right there. Now you don't even have to call them and check with them. They'll show up. That's what it was, Circuit City. I forgot about Circuit City. I was trying to think of what was in between CompUSA, but held on for a little bit longer, but was still oddly depressing like that. That's Circuit City. I'm surprised Best Buy ended up holding on as long as they did. Well, I mean, they still do. And now I think they're still really strong because there's literally nowhere else to go. Do you like that pink scraper better? No, not quite. I think the Gator Blade comes with a better edge and is a little bit harder. So Gator Blade's really, really solid. These ones, I think, are not too far behind with the material and what you can do with it. But, wow. It's the dirt that comes with sometimes a car like this. It doesn't look dirty, but then when you start touching some of these spots, oh, probably up here. Get all that. Yeah, I think I like the Gator Blade a little bit better, but it's pretty interchangeable. I've also screwed up a window with a Gator Blade. You can still scratch glass with plastic, so be careful. Actually, it's really the dirt that you pick up out of the seals. Thought we'd clean this edge up. Just a little bit more. It's just this little jut right there. Oh God. There we go. Perfect. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. Good. Now I feel like I gotta squeegee this one more time. In case something fell over. No. Give me my tools. Oh shit, we didn't get that. We didn't get that. Just that little guy right there. We'll take care of that. There we go. No, stay. There we go. The carbon, you have it. So what I've noticed with the thin carbon blades is you have an easier time cutting out your top edge. In most cases, the stainless sometimes will just, for whatever reason, catch and drag. Even with a new blade, it's just, for whatever reason, sometimes I just have a hard time cutting with the stainless. I don't even know what it is. Maybe that's that little angle I put on it. I don't know. But sometimes it's just a tad bit annoying. But I've been playing around with the thin blades, just like the 30 degree. I really like the 30 degrees. But I've been playing around with the thin blades for a little while now, and I quite like them. I think having 2 knives, 1 stainless, 1 carbon, just keep track of both of them. I don't know where my other knife went. Here's my disclaimer. Will come in 2 messages. What do you think? Deposit ensures that you want the date and time. This will come off your final bill. If you call or text 48 hours before the appointment, you can carry over the deposit 1 time only. If you show over 15 minutes late, you may lose your spot and deposit. Yeah, that's okay. I don't know. I have really nice people with my deposits. So, like, I never felt like I've had to protect myself at all with a deposit. I literally just say over the phone. Like, I don't even say that it's non-refundable or anything. And I've refunded some deposits. So there's somebody, he's called, scheduled, deposit, checked with work or something. And he's like, man, I'm really sorry. I was trying to get this one window done quick, or this job done really quick. I thought I could make it. But I've got to take the work right now. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to make it in, but I appreciate you scheduling me so quickly. And I'm like, yeah, no worries. I'll just refund your deposit. Because, like, he didn't take that long to let me know anyways. The only problem that I've really felt with deposits is that it kind of like marries you to the client, where a missed appointment doesn't. So I think inevitably you might have somebody with a misunderstanding, and in that case, just cut them loose. But I think most people that leave deposits are a little bit different. They're generally really patient because they're scheduling, you know, an appointment farther out than now. So even if it's like a day in the future, it's just a different person. So I just work with them as best as I can. If they need to change a date, that's fine. Just let me know. Most people do that well before the appointment time. And then if like somebody's rolling in like, oh shoot, I totally forgot, then it's like, okay, no worries. Stuff happens. But the message is fine. Having that there always can protect yourself more than not. I've just taken a really lax approach with it because I haven't, like, it's fixed so much. It's kind of like everybody's nice. Oh, there's a big conversation about dryer sheets. So the big problem with using dryer sheets is like skin contact, really. I don't know, when you put them in a dryer, the heat and the way it disperses is going to be a little bit different from than just taking the sheet and wiping it all over your hands. There's some articles about it for sure. It's not exactly the best idea. You know, I misplaced my dry shrink prep bag, but then I actually found it the other day. It was like hiding on my tool wall, but in a weird spot where I didn't notice it. So that's one reason I haven't picked it back up again for a minute. But you gotta put them in the dryer with your hands. That is true. But you're not really wetting them down before you do and like rubbing them all over your hands. What do we gotta do? I wanted to look at the stream really quick. Make an adjustment if I need to. Canon. Oh, Windows. That's what happened. You know, hang on. I have a registration key. It does this thing where it delays and delays and delays and delays and delays and delays. That's why my voice software is so messed up right now. Windows at some point did an update, and it I hate Windows for this. Guys, can you take your argument somewhere else, please? I don't want to listen to the whole thing. Thanks. Okay. I wanted to check out what the colors look like on an iPhone. Yeah, it's a little bright. It's not bad. It's a tinge bright. But then you can see the film better. I don't know. I don't know what's right. Alright. We'll leave it like it for now, I think. Cam link. Actually, we can color correction. Chroma key. No, LUT. We'll turn down the LUT just a little bit. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Yeah, no, it was just, there's a lot of debate going on that's completely off topic from the stream right now. And normally, like, I wouldn't care, but I have to hear all of it, so. I'd rather not. My dad's been tinting for around 30 years, and I got him a felt card. He only uses hard cards. Think it'll be a big change for him. I think any differences for somebody that's been tinting for 30 years is always going to be a big change, because they have what they use. But I think it was a very nice thing to do. I don't know your dad. There's some, like, if it fits really well into your style, that's where it'll be a nice compliment. I got in many a debate with people. There's people that have been tinting for a very, very long time, and then new tools come out, and then they just shrug their shoulders at them. Because they're like, back before I was tinting, that didn't exist. You don't need that. How many people are in the training class? It's 0 right now. It's been just a total flop. It really sucks. But there's a lot of people that are watching the stream, so that's cool. People will go with time. Yeah, you hope so. It's just funny. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what the reaction would be. It was generally, like, I figured it'd be positive, but then let's see how many people actually sign up. And there's been genuine interest, but yeah, nobody yet. I want to go, but it's way out of my budget. Yeah, that might be the case. So, I mean, that's what I've figured, because there's a lot, right? I know, there's travel, there's the class itself. That's why I was trying to throw a lot into it. Oh, that too, and there's scheduling, which is why there's 3. So, I could lower it to probably about 15. I've been debating about doing that, but I don't know if that would make a huge difference. So for 15, might be able to just say screw it and still offer the same type of stuff. Well, if you needed the keg shipped back home, we can ship it. That's okay. But that was a thought on having the kegs like tools shipped to you ahead of time, and then you got to figure out how to bring them with you. I can have Sun Distributing help me with shipping those things, if need be. Usually you can fit all the tools and stuff in there. But yeah, I don't want people to take out small loans to attend. There's like you can split up the payments, but yeah, it just might be too expensive. Is it cold? It is cold today. Takes a little while to heat up. Is there any decent hotels by the shop? Probably. You know, to be honest, I haven't really looked. But it's a pretty populated area, so there's definitely hotels around here. I might just try changing it to 15 and then see what happens. How likely are we to get mugged or shot? It doesn't have the same appeal as Florida either. Here. I think I'm gonna change it. I'll change it to 15, but can't really go beyond that. We'll say screw it and just figure it out. That's how all good tint businesses survive. I still don't know if that'll do it though. 1,500 is tempting. But it's the travel cost. See, that's it. It's just travel anything. Tell me about it. We just finally booked a trip to the Philippines. So I gotta buy tickets, unfortunately, for my son as well. Under 2, they can sit on your lap. Over 2, you have to buy a ticket, but we at least got a discount. Plane tickets are $2,000 per person. Yeah, but they're worth it. Will you hold the class even if it doesn't fill up? Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. I intend to just run it, like, if there's one person that signs up, well, then one person gets all the class. I wouldn't do that to people. You know, I heard that from somebody. Somebody said because 3 people didn't sign up, they canceled the whole class. But I don't want people to go broke over it. So the idea is you're getting your feet wet with tint. You can tint some. Typically, that's what a class is best for. You've been messing around with tint for a while. You're taking it seriously. You want to invest in yourself. That's where a class is really beneficial. So I didn't even know how beneficial a class would be till I taught my first one. They told me about 5 hours together to tint a car. And then by the time they went home together, they were like 2 to 3 hours a car. And now they're both tinting individually and knocking out work left and right. So it's just, you know, as much as the videos show, there's just some things. I think the live streams are very different though. But as much as the videos show, being able to talk to people about what your concerns are, that's why they're so helpful. But I don't know. Pricing things is always difficult. It really is. Because, like, there's what you feel that it's worth, and then there's what people can actually pay, and then sometimes there's this balance in between, like... I mean, there's always this balance in between both. What you can actually afford to do it at. But I wasn't entirely sure where to price them at. But I looked around at a handful of classes, so I just kind of like wanted to go all out for this one. Yeah, oh yeah, flight to the Philippines. Yep, takes forever. So from here, total travel time, what was it? 19 to 20 hour travel time? Is there going to be another tinting in the Philippines video? I don't think so. I'm going to have stuff planned ahead of time. But it's a big deal to go back because we haven't been able to with all the shutdowns. They've had quarantine restrictions, so anybody that lands there would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So you literally get there and then you have to pay for room and board and quarantine for 2 weeks, so you literally can't do anything. You're just stuck. So like it's absolutely killed tourism. But now things have opened up a little bit more. But it changes fast. So we're taking a pretty big leap. We're crossing our fingers that everything will be okay. Booked the flights. It was like damn near $6,000 for tickets there. So we're gonna go for a while. Where did I put my... Oh yeah, there's the torch. Tiny water spots the day after tint is fine. Oh, for sure. It's just drying. So you see how these little white round thingies, the little water pockets? Well, those are air pockets. So they'll be the same shape and size really, but water pockets. That's just the drying process. So wintertime, I tell people leave the windows up for about 5 days. Realistically, it's just extra precaution. But it does take a little bit longer to dry out in the wintertime. Summertime, they'll usually be dried out in a day with some nice hot weather. So you tell people 1 to 2 days. All right, let me check this window. I'm gonna adjust my price quick. There we go. Bam. Anybody remember lock buttons? I totally forgot. I thought the key was stuck. And it took me a minute to remember there's actually a little push button lock on that thing. I don't know why they ever did it. But on some cars they have those. Maybe it was just a Mazda thing. Maybe it's a stick shift thing. Wow. Okay. Really stuck there. There we go. What time is it? Canon. Oh God, I forgot. That software doesn't work right now. Canon. Oh, it does work. See, this happens with whenever I buy PC software that doesn't require a login. They give you some key for it. There's a new version. Do you want to download it? No, I don't want to mess it up right now. When are you lowering the price? Right now. Give me a minute. Whenever I buy PC software that requires a key, and then Windows does a dumb update, that PC software then becomes invalid. I gotta modify it for 3 variants. 15.99? No. Here we go. Whoa. No. We could make it $200,000. That would work. No. There we go. Should be changed now. Give it a sec. So, if we go to... Tint Wiz. My tint stuff. Why is it not changed yet? So why is the front still the same though? No, this one. It's changed for you guys? Okay. Okay, there we go. I had to refresh again. Should work. There you go. 15 for all 3 days. Same stuff. Same stuff applies. Online school and all the tools. I didn't want that to change. So, who made your site? I did. You can do a lot with Shopify. This is actually, there's like some annoying stuff that you kind of have to learn, but everything's based on a template. So you have like a product page, and you fill out descriptions and stuff for it, and then you have like a front page where you can arrange stuff really nicely. So, like for example, when you go to like the tools, right? You have collection pages, but each one of these you just add the product, add pictures, add a description, add the price, add the weight. So it handles a lot of this stuff for you, and then you can kind of pick out the template that you want and rearrange it to kind of cater to what you like. So I really like this one. It looks nice. Looks better than my business website. Okay, how do we get back to that? There we go. Do you know what the stock tint percentage is on a 2014 Honda Ridgeline? I don't offhand. Typically, Typically, foreign trucks and SUVs can be a little bit lighter, but that doesn't mean it is for sure. So it's anywhere from 20 to like 25. That's usually what it is. I gotta wipe this off. The tape ended up sticking really bad to the rubber. There we go. I didn't notice that was happening. That's not fun. It'll come off. Okay, hypothetically asking for a friend. What if you don't have any experience? Should you sign up or buy a roll and practice first? To be honest, I would get the roll and practice a little bit. So you could schedule out one of the farther classes. But really, like, I can show you everything from the beginning. So you can be, like, completely green. But I think the people that are going to get the most value out of it are going to be people that already have messed around with film a little bit. Even if you can tint, you're going to get something out of it. But if you haven't picked up film and even tried it, you don't even know if you want to really tint. There's what it looks like and what it might seem like, and then you pick up the film, and then you might have problems. So, like, you might just not like it at all. You're like, oh, this is just way different than I thought it was going to be. So, I'd agree with that. I'd recommend it with practicing up until the class, personally, just getting the hang of it. I was thinking green, maybe. Oh, so there's no bad habits. It's really not a lot of time to form bad habits right now. But how do I say this? It's not a bad way to look at it, right? So you're going in completely green, you haven't done anything, learning all the right things the first time is yeah, preferred. But if you kind of follow what's already going on in the videos and stuff, then it's like it's not hard to make little adjustments and stuff here and there. I don't think we're gonna get into an argument about doing things one way versus the other way. So, okay, so this one is definitely a little farther in. So, with this one, the way I like to cut these out is just do what you saw. There's a relief cut right in the middle. So you kind of like roll the tint in, create a relief cut, and then just kind of press it up against the seal and cut right in between the seal. Or cut right in between the spoiler and the glass, because there's always a little gap there. You can round that all out. And just leave it there. Oh, God. So I'll shrink up to what I can. There's usually a couple of little fingers and stuff that has to be touched up on the inside. I tossed my, where did I put it? Oh yeah, I dropped it. There it is. They look lighter than 20. I want to have the whole truck tinted. Yeah, like some people are saying in chat, some shops, you could call ahead, see if they have a meter. Just let them know that you want to get as close as possible. Some shops will just blanket say 20%. It very well could be lighter. Some things will appear lighter until you actually throw a meter on it. But once you can physically throw a number on it, then you really know. Yeah, just be straight up with them. Just let them know that you... Just want to let them know that you don't want it to be darker on the front than the back, so... I'd be forced to do 35 instead of 20 if it was lighter. I don't have a 30, unfortunately. Why not use a plotter if it's a pain to cut? We definitely could. I like to cut some of these out without a plotter, more to show that it can be done, and just how I do them without actually removing spoilers. It's more for demo. But it's how it's how I've done every stinking hatchback. Yes, exactly, it's for us. But yeah, if I had that cut already with a plotter and then I just put the film up there and shrunk it, that would save me time. This is a instance where a plotter will be very beneficial. Please never do a stream of all plotter cuts. I know most people don't have a machine to cut everything out for them. I mean, it's kind of funny. It takes out, like, it's interesting to see and learn. And if you get one, then yeah, like seeing some demos of it is really beneficial too. I think Tint Pro and Haas, they plotter cut like a lot of stuff. They stream too. How hard are you pressing with the... not super hard. So you really can't press hard enough, I guess. Like too hard that you're going to mess anything up, because these are really like... You can put some pressure down. But... what's something I can compare it to? Just enough to sweep it out. So when you get closer and closer to the spoiler, definitely keep that heat moving. But you can put some heat pockets up here. I can't really see up here very well at all. I could get like a light and shine it up here, but you can kind of go on feel too. Like, really. You just create a little heat pocket there, keep your heat moving. You can kind of feel where some stuff is. Same amount of heat, just... No! What the heck? There we go. What the heck? I don't know if you guys can see up there. Why would it freeze at the most interesting part? There we go. So yeah, just like I was saying, I create a little heat pocket up there. Just keep the heat moving. Yeah, for dry shrinking, you want everything to be dry. The only times it's nice to keep the edges like a little damp to like hold those edges down a little bit better. But you only see that when so I lightly sprayed this when I put the film on here. The only reason for that, let's get this off the glass. The only reason for that is because it's literally gonna fall off the glass if I'm not careful with it. If it's like, depending on the tackiness of your dryer sheet, your dry shrink prep, and the glass that you're putting it on, and ambient humidity. Sometimes you can just throw it on there and it'll stick, but having dryer sheet and all that helps the film float a little bit, but then stick to where you need it to. Sometimes it's just not enough. So a little bit of spray will help it stick a little bit better, only where you need it to though. So use it sparingly. So for the most part, you don't need to spray anything. But I needed to spray it. I needed to spray it because if I didn't, I'd put the film on here and it'd just fall off the glass because gravity. So that top edge is still pretty janky. It's not super clean. I'm gonna see what the inside is looking like, and we're gonna trim off most of that on the inside. Mazda just really happens to be one of those, like, this is one of those hatches that gives you, like, I need to cut this edge here, and you can see I got plenty of paneling, space, it kind of pulls away, nothing's real tight, so it's real easy, gives me a lot of freedom on the inside. So it's janky, it's a janky cut right now, but it's real forgiving on the inside, so that's why I didn't care so much. That's why I didn't care so much about what that top edge quite looked like, because we can fix it all in here. This is a lot easier to install than, let's say, a VW. Woo. That's better. Okay, so where's my stuff? It's just extra film. Probably left it on the seat. We did. Have you ever done Miata hardtop. That hold the windows. The screws that hold the windows are a pain. No. I've done a couple of Miatas, but I don't remember any screws. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Oh, an 89? No, I don't think I've gone quite that far back. If I did, it was just for the sides. I did like the newer ones. That was the one I most remember, and I might have done like an old one a long time ago. Would have been a really long time. Yeah, most are soft top. They're like the Fiat, aren't they just like basically the new ones are also the Fiat Spider? Do they still do that? Like the 124, 128 or whatever. Yeah, that is a... See how this top edge turned out in some spots? Not very clean on this one. That's okay, we get a lot of overlap. One, two, four, Spider. But, let's see how much room, how much overlap we have on the inside. Look at that. Look, we are clean over all the paneling. So it looks like garbage, but we can fix it. Make sure all of your other edges are lined up. I wasn't tinting in the 80s. I was born in 88. But yeah, when they first started, people primarily used strips. Shrinking film wasn't a thing. From best I can figure, manufacturers came out with window film and then left people to try and figure out how to install it. No, never mind, I'll explain. I said we're gonna fix the edge, but we're gonna do it on the inside. My dad would say I can be dropped anywhere with an Olfa knife and a spray bottle and I'll survive. So see that? Boom! Now it's nice and clean. So we just basically use the inside edge as a guide there. We'll have a couple little things to like shrink out. Especially that. Where's my... Oh, it's on the wall. You guys like my wall? I put some more tools on it. I used all of these. I gotta bring more in. I was trying to clean some stuff up. Still organizing that wall, but I like the way it's looking. This is where I always had a problem. You can shrink fingers out on the inside, but keep in mind that you have a glue, so it's gonna get tacky real fast. So this squeegee here is actually, in my opinion, the perfect tool for the job. I like trying to use this, but it stops here, doesn't quite get as far, and sometimes, well, these also start to get, when they're dried out, it starts to grab the window a lot more. So this will grip the window. Where this thing, I mean, you can shrink a back window with this thing. This thing always glides. So one of the very few perfect use cases for a squeegee like this. Most of the time I'll use these for quarter windows and stuff, but give me a nice spoiler here. Boom, boom, boom. Shrink all that, press it down. So like on a Civic hatch, it's really good for that area. Really any hatch for that matter. Anywhere you gotta dry some fingers out and you still want some good slippage. So that's how we fixed it. Now we don't have this ugly, hacky bottom cut. It's all nice and smooth down here, but it's also kind of hidden along this edge too. So worked out real nice. So that's why, like with spoilers, when you're trying to cut up against the spoiler, it gets really annoying and in the way. You don't really need to do that. You can get close. In most cases, you can get close enough and then trim everything on the inside where it actually gives you plenty of space and room, and you didn't have to take apart the spoiler to do it. Oh yeah, we got to do quarter windows. We're not even close to done yet. I hope I didn't ruin that film. I don't think I did. That's why I put this extra film here. So this was off of this back window, and I was gonna just toss it, but no, this is actually quarter window material right here. We're doing the sunroof? No. Doing my second car ever, 21 Honda Accord, doing a visor, strip, sunroof, strip, retint the front doors, anything to look for. Accord doing a visor, strip, sunroof, strip, and retint on the front doors. Is there anything to look forward to? No, Honda Accords are pretty straightforward. Just depends on the year. Oh no, you said 21. No, you have actually a really easy time with that one. It's brand new. Brand new Accords are nice. How much for Impala? All the sides and the rear start at $290. Woo! Stay. We need this guy. So we're actually going to double cut this one. The glass aid strip, oh God. I don't know how people see it under 5 with this stuff. I guess my eyes aren't quite that good. Sometimes they are. Why not a nice 300? Yeah, right? It really should just be $2.99. You know, I don't have a good answer. So, this is like I think it's such a dumb thing. But really, the difference between $2.99 and $300 actually is kind of a big deal. But why it's $2.90 and like not $2.95 or $2.99, I don't know. It's just $2.90 right now. Yeah, so we don't need this one. I think we put this on normal. So if we're gonna shrink it, we gotta shrink it at the top. What if you had that glass aid made into neon green? Thought about it. You can see white a little bit better. So that's why it's white. I just wanted to do what was most helpful. So like all the Detroit Tint Studio stuff kind of came after, like in the green stuff, all kind of came after glass aid. So, and I kind of wanted glass aid to live separately and be its own thing, independent of everything else. I did a Mazda 4 outside mirror. What? I did a Mazda 4. Those outside mirrors get in the way to cut the bottom edge. I don't know if I've done a Mazda 4. I'd have to see it. I've kind of like casually seen some of the Mazdas, and they look like they pinch at the bottom, but this one has a nice flat front here. Mirrors will sometimes get in the way, though. That's not uncommon. That's why some people like doing the Sharpie. Oh my God. Ugh. Put my head in here. $5? No, it's $20. The mirrors in my O2 Civic come up. Wait, you removed the mirrors? Like the outside mirrors? Damn. There's a lot of cars where mirrors kind of get in the way. You just got to be a little creative of how you sneak the film in there and get your cut. I mean, we looked at a Sharpie method the other day. That might be something to think about too, but don't bunch much film up in your corner. Just cut vertically. What's the darkest tint I can install that's still legal? Depends on where you live. Every state's got their own rules. Michigan, you can go as dark as you want if you got a doctor's note. If you don't, they don't measure shade, they measure inches. You can go down 4 inches from the top. The Michigan legal, 4 inches. It's weird. It's just an old-timey law. It's been around for a while. Do you offer windshield tint with standard film? Yeah, we can do windshield in any film that you want. There's a lot of people that just want privacy. We're just thinking about doing it this way. It's just gonna be getting it to tack up. You need like a second set of hands to hold this without it sliding. Neat. Ugh. What's your prices for windshield? $150 for standard, $200 for carbon, $250 for ceramic. I generally knock $50 off of the windshield with the full car. But if you're only getting the windshield tinted, they start at $150. Do you charge for the quarter windows? I charge for all the windows. I just kind of charge per vehicle. So like, I kind of lump everything into similar pricing. So like, if you have a truck, if you have a sedan, they're all going to be very similarly priced. I don't really price out like extra windows separate. It's just kind of, I used to be $240, and then slowly just started increasing it. Also got a lot more SUVs at the time too. So it's kind of like, rather than just keeping everything separate, like another reason was just the way we were scheduling things, the amount of time that we were spending on pretty much every vehicle, and then inflation. So film started getting more expensive too. So we made a little adjustment across the board. So we just kind of do everything there. It's an ice cream truck. Canon. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Sure thing. Just the rear window? What kind of vehicle? 2013 Mustang GT. Is it convertible? Was it tinted already? You're right. Okay. For just the back window, it'd be 150. Um, I can tell you. So the thing about window film removals is they're real tricky, especially when they're flaky like that. Using a steamer can help you out a lot. If you manage to pull the film off and you only have the glue behind, using it So what I can tell you is if you go to the dollar store or Home Depot, there's a chemical called LA's Totally Awesome. It's like it's a clear bottle with like a yellow fluid. It's really, really good for removing window tint adhesive. Microfiber cloth is okay, but what works better is like a Scotch Brite, but the blue ones, get the blue non-scratch pads. LA's Totally Awesome. It's usually just, yeah. I can send you a picture of it, actually. That'll help you out a bunch. But yeah, make sure you get the non-scratch ones, because there's like the green ones that are really rough, or just rough scrub pads that'll scratch the hell out of your glass. Yeah, just make sure you use like blue non-scratch ones. Yeah. Yeah, I've been able to find them at like Target, Walmart, and a couple of other places. Yeah, no problem. I couldn't get you in today with it. Let me see. Earliest that I have available. I'm just checking my calendar really quick. I could actually get you in tomorrow morning. 10 o'clock. Oh, it'll be done plenty before that. Back window like that will probably take about an hour. Depends on if all the, like, there'll probably be, I'm anticipating there being just a little bit more glue and stuff. As long as, like, the vast majority of it is removed, it's not that bad. Little flaky bits of tint towards usually, like, the bottom corners, it's the hardest to get to. It's the hardest to remove, that kind of stuff. Just make sure you get all of that off, because that could easily... Yeah, that can help. Yeah, because you're easily going to spend hours trying to remove all that old flaky stuff. Yep, I can do 10 o'clock tomorrow with a deposit. Okay, cool. I will text you a link to our booking site. Once I get that deposit, you'll be all set for 10 o'clock. All right, no problem. See ya. So he's got a Mustang, and he's removing the tint. Always ask more questions on stuff like that. If somebody only needs a back window tinted, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag. Like, there was definitely more there. Like, why only the back window? Was it broken? Was it tinted? Oh, it was tinted. Okay. Removing it, just needs it retinted. How many spots are left for the March class? I'm definitely signing up. I just need a few more days to get the money together. We just dropped the price by $500 too, so that might help. It's wide open right now. Here is a link to leave a deposit. Now, if you have any questions. /book online. Did somebody sign up? William's coming to the class. Oh, I'm so excited. February, March. No, March, April, May. Okay, so 3 months from now. I always get March and May confused. Sweet. Well, somebody booked. Look at that. We did it. We have somebody coming to class. So I guess I got to get prepared now. Dang. I should have left it, and then I didn't have to do anything. I'm kidding. It'll be fun. All right. So we have a couple more little things to do on this. I just saw a little finger here. See that little guy? What days do you normally do live? I don't have a set schedule, just generally morning time, like 10:30, scattered throughout the week. Can't believe more people haven't jumped at the opportunity. I know, right? What the heck? Well, I guess it was too expensive. I don't know. Let me get that adhesive remover. Oh yeah, I said I'd send him a picture. So let me do that. So adhesive remover, if you're in a pinch and you need something right away, this stuff right here. Canon. GoPro. Yeah, travel's a big one. So you gotta put a lot of things on hold. I get it. There, this one's open. Yeah, that is actually the awesome from the video. There we go. That's nice. There's a little bit of glue from the tape that stuck to the rubber. LA is totally awesome. Yay! It all came off. That's totally awesome. Usually it doesn't stick to stuff like that, but it really liked that rubber. Nice. Okay, so what are we doing? We're doing touch-ups, and then that's it. He booked Thursday. Nice. I'm like, not exactly looking forward to it. So whenever you have somebody that wants a full car, or no, a back window tinted that had tint on it before, but he said it's just glue that's left behind. So if that's the case, even if it comes in with more glue on it, I can handle that okay. And a couple little bits here and there, it's not a big deal. But if I'm gonna be sitting there for like 45 minutes scraping off little pieces, we're gonna have a problem. I'm kind of anticipating some of it. Am I streaming the Mustang? I don't know. I don't know if there's enough there. There's like other stuff that I still need to do. So when I end up streaming, everything else gets put on hold. So I love streaming, but I don't stream everything. Because I still need to get some other stuff done. Do your tools scratch the tint? No, yes. It's usually, tools can scratch the glass. It's just usually if they get worn out, a little roughed up from scraping through all the bottom seals and stuff. Or when you catch like a little piece of dirt on it. There we go. I like it. Looks good. And our charcoal or Tint Depot Orbit to practice on? Oh, that's a tough question. They're both, it's a coin flip, whichever one you feel like going with. Both of them are going to be real similar. They're both color stable dyed films, solid. They're going to shrink very similarly. It's really like, at that point, like both good companies, it's a coin flip. Good choices. Woo! It's nice. I like it. Look at that. So that is 20% carbon on all the sides and the back. Free upgrade on this one because I didn't have Pro Classic enough to do the full car. Whoops. My bad. But it all went really, really nice. I think he'll appreciate it. Should I get a 36? Yeah, 36 are great. 36s, if you have somewhere to like split them in half, like as you pull the film off, like you can put it on a shelf, pull it down, and like have 20-inch pieces, that can help too. Or just splitting them 18 and 18. So 20 inches are going to be good for a lot of trucks. 18 is going to be good for sedans and coupes. And 24-inch rolls are primarily just for like bigger truck windows. So like your newer Silverados. Cursing the film. Oh. Was it 24 helps with like the Ram? No, you can get a 20. You can do Rams off of a 20-inch roll. F-150s and Silverados and Sierras. Those need a 24, 22 or 24. You don't usually see 22 though. Does the felt card stop creasing the film? Not stop it, but it does. If you're gonna make a mistake with it, it's generally a lighter mistake because you're not. What you're kind of flattening out, you're not pressing as hard. So if you lightly crease the film, you can usually pull it back and reshrink that area a little bit and save yourself some issues. GeoShield is sold out of 20% Pro Classic. They're sometimes weird with their films a little bit because they do 72. So a lot of times with Pro Classic, because it's their most economical line of film, they'll have like 36, 24 because everything gets made on a 72. So sometimes they don't offer 20-inch in Pro Classic just because they bring in everything off of 72-inch rolls. But I have noticed that sometimes. Super. Are we still getting alerts? Or is that broken too? I can't believe my software is just completely jacked up. That's super frustrating. No. There it is. B711.
B711 HD super chatted 99 cents.
B711 HD. I still like that voice. It's been around for a long time. No, it came up. There it is. Just hugely delayed. That one was funny. Alrighty. I gotta send an email. All right, cool. We had one class sign up. That is super cool to see. Looks like everything worked too. And I got an email. Nice. Gotta start. Gonna get those group discussions going. That'll be cool. Thinking about getting a felt card? Oh, yeah, I'd get one. I mean, they're really good tools, and they're not that expensive either, so they're handy. So I used to shrink with a felt card or with a hard card, and what would really drive me crazy is if you have any specks on the back window, like a little speck of dirt, with a hard card, it's kind of like a rock. So you're shrinking, and then all of a sudden you're going to hit that with a hard card and just rip right through your film. So that's why I always like the felt cards a little bit better. Another thing that you can do, not to throw a monkey wrench in anything, hey, that's cool. Screw inflation sale, 20% off all Avery films. That's one hell of a discount there. 20% off the Avery films. That's a big one. Yeah, because I think they're raising their prices 20%. Yeah, like somebody said, monkey strips. So any of those, like, what are they? I think it's one of the foots. Yes, the little foot. These things. So you can take like a felt strip and you can put it at the bottom of one of these. And it's a really, really good shrinking tool. Very similar. So it gives you like a hard card feel, but it gives you that soft skip over major imperfections felt card end. This is a really good thing. And this little like extra space at the end, I really like that. Good stuff. I should link that. Let me link that. Alrighty. Is that all for today? He's waiting up front. I gotta deliver this. Is 35% only for the windshield, or can you use it on the whole car? Oh, I often do it on the whole car. Well, front doors. So It just depends on the customer. I've done 50, I've done 70, I've done all shades on every car. Every car. On a lot of cars. It just depends on who's getting it. So 35 is a step up to where you can see some of the steering wheel, the passengers, but it still gives you some shade. It still gives you like a little bit of privacy, but it's not super, it doesn't stand out very much. Where 20% is more of like a silhouette appearance. So you can kind of see shapes and people sitting there if you look directly through. And then 5%, 5% is just like, is more blackout. So 35, when you put it on a windshield, it really darkens up the rest of the vehicle and looks darker than 35. So I'll often do like 50% on that, and then sometimes they'll either do 20 or 35 on the sides, along with like a 50% windshield. But it totally depends on the person. Right now, on both of mine, a big part of it is for demo purposes, but also family. I have 35% on my front doors, 20% on the back, and I'll usually do 50% on a windshield. I joined right when he's doing the last 2 quarter windows. You got to wake up early because that's when we schedule things. So early, 10 o'clock. Oh, my God. 10 o'clock feels early for me, though. It's really not. I had a hard time going this morning. All right, so we're pretty much at the end of this. I am going to shout out some super dupers. So big shout outs to 2 of them, B711 and Nick. Thank you so much for the super dupers today. I really appreciate it. And a last note for those of you that are just tuning in that were interested in the tint school but didn't want to spend that much money, we marked it down to $1,500. So if you're still interested in coming, makes it a little bit more affordable. I'm still going to offer the exact same amount of stuff. So class is now $1,500. We are dropping prices fast on that. Somebody signed up already, which is really cool. So I'm very, very happy to see that. Looks like I probably just overpriced it. I don't know. When's your next stream? I don't know. People are asking about a Mustang. I mean, what's on my schedule? What do we have? That's front doors. Wish I had $1,500 to just throw away. Well, you're not just throwing it away. Dang. Feels bad, man. Oh yeah, that's a set of doors. We might stream the Mustang back window tomorrow. I got like some scattered smaller appointments coming up later this week. And then then we got a Cadillac on Monday. That would be the next full car right now. I don't think he really meant it like that, but no, it's going to be fun. So the online school, we're going to be doing full tool sets with kegs. That's going to be cool. And then it's going to be a fun 3 days. We're going to learn some stuff. It's called an investment. Actually, yes. Actually paying to invest in yourself, especially when it's for the people that are looking to do this full-time as a career. That's really what it's for. Just for like weekend hobbyists or, you can learn everything through the videos, absolutely. It always takes time. Classes really help refine things and speed you up. That's for sure. So, you're going to stream the school? No, not all of it. Maybe little bits here and there. But it's got to be dedicated time, so I can't really stream much of it. And so depending on kind of how many people show up for it, there was a really, really cool thing that happened at the Chicago class that I helped teach. So we might end up streaming that part later on. But yeah, it's going to be very individualized help. My shop is 7,000 square feet. That is a big space. So I got myself Heelys so I can walk around faster. That's awesome. I've always been jealous of Heelys. I don't want to buy them, but I want to try them out. I don't know if I just like get them and then just put them back in the box and never use them again. But Heelys, it was always so funny. You'd see people going around school in Heelys because those were popular back when I was in. They're like popular for kids, but people in high school still would get them. You see somebody just like shooting down the hallways in their Heelys. It was so funny. How about, I just bought this ROG Strix laptop with a 1080 in it for $200. What? Are you trying to sell it to me? That sounds like a hell of a laptop, though. That's cool. Just set up all your cams and then let them run. No. No, streams are... No, it's like streams are better when you're actually paying attention to doing the stream, not just like leaving them up. So like I want to be able to show some parts of it, so there'll probably be some footage from it. We might stream part of it if there's like something really interesting. Like there was basically, so in the Chicago class there was a shrinking competition that we ended up doing. It was really, really interesting. So maybe something like that, but it's more about individualized help. So the people that are paying to be there, that's who this is for. So. I'll let it go for $1,000. Why are you telling me about it? I'm confused. Announced that Lexan has red dots for the low. What? Yeah, they've been selling tools for a while. I think they're a Master Fusion distributor too, actually. Alrighty. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna deliver this car. He is being very patient about it, so I am going to do that. Y'all have a good one. We will be back soon with another live stream. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you soon. We might be back for tomorrow to do the Mustang. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I still have videos that I have to make, right? Bye.